Hi, guys, and welcome to Bloomeranga's podcast. I'm very excited to share with you today a new kind of episode on creativity. It's not a talk on creativity that we usually share here, it's more like thoughts and process of how you can activate creativity, tap into it, follow its flow, and shape what's coming through you into something that serves others, fueling the impact that you are here to make. So, you might have seen already on my website that we have a new set of courses that we released on the topic of brand development, and creativity is one of them. So, it's going to be an extract of what you will find on this course. And I hope it will help you to tune into your creative energy, trust your instincts, and create with ease. It's so much easier to bring out something into the world that is truly aligned with you and truly is there, that's kind of coming out authentically through you rather than copy pasted from what you've seen somewhere already out in the world. So you can find the courses on karelite.com/courses. And I hope you will find it interesting. So let's dive in. So what is creativity? Very abstract, right? And then we can, of course, break it down. But at the essence of it, I think creativity is almost like a life force, right? It's an elixir of life. It's that energy that moves us forward, that inspires us, that leads us, right? At the sort of it's really kind of the life force, right? And if we kind of needed to break it down a little bit more concretely, I think that life force also, there is a process in it. It starts with us giving a certain impulse, an idea, right, an inspiration, and then it takes us through this process of bringing something new into existence. So whether you are making a meal, whether you are bringing together friends for a party, or you're creating a new product, or you are redoing your clothes or decorating your home, that sort of energy and that process of creation, of creating something new, we could define it creativity. It doesn't matter what form it takes, in what shape. In the business context, of course, there is that as well. But I see, if we have more, if we look more from the creative thinking side or the mindset side, the business context is probably more like that ability to connect unrelated dots, whether it's concepts or information or kind of data points, right? Whatever context you're going to take that, but the sort of ability to connect them in an original way and make meaning out of that, right? So you could still see, some people are able to come up with great ideas for marketing campaigns, some data, people who work with data are able to come up with amazing financial models and all of that, right? So is that ability to connect dots within information, within and make kind of sense within a particular context. And I think another very important aspect of creativity is the courage we have, right, to go with that energy that takes us almost like a wave would take a surfer on it, and really, to let it take us to explore the known horizons without certainty of the outcome. Because if we are really looking at true creativity, right, and we truly surrender to that energy, we don't know where it's taking us. It's a true adventure, right? We really get out into that process without knowing what's going to come out of that. So for creators who, let's say, are not choosing a path of artist path, or it's a very different path if you decide to be an artist and just create what comes through you. That's sort of one route. But for creators who are like more makers, who want to create products and services, and who work with brands, here then there are certain, let's say, rules that or best practices that we need to have in our toolkit, so that we shape this energy, the creative energy that is coming through us along this adventure into something that will become a product, or that would become tangible output, and that can be monetized, right? So this is a very important skill to develop, of shaping an idea into a product that would work and that would sell and would generate revenue. So it's this entrepreneurial skill set that needs to be developed. But the path, whether you're an artist, whether you're an entrepreneur, or whether you're an independent creator of creativity, the process is almost the same, because you are going down where that wave is taking you. You don't know where you'll end up. And the difference is, like, between all of these people is what we do along the way with that, So some of, like, I'm sure that you've heard, like, some of the famous artists or musicians, sometimes that energy is so overwhelming of all the ideas they have that they go down the route of drugs, or, like, all extreme way to kind of dim down, because they don't know how to process through, let it go through them. It's just so powerful. And that's why we'll also be discussing a little bit the topic of self-care, of how to manage that when the creative storm hits you, let's say. So, I think everything you've said is correct. And if we would break it down into practicalities, I would say, besides being it a life force, that energy that is taking us, that takes us on that wave, that it has a process, and we will look into what that is. And it also requires from us a courage and a certain toolkit, so we know how to manage that and make a kind of a productive output out of that inspiration. So as creators, right, as I mentioned it a little bit at the beginning, we have two ways of creating. I did experience both of these, and I did create from both of these standpoints. So the first one, as I say, is creating from our mind, kind of like we think, we analyze, we make all SWOT analysis and all those things that the business practices tell you. And I'm not saying they are bad, but it needs to be done, even if you sort of create differently. But the difference is like, okay, in the business world, when we are kind of saying, okay, there are competitors, we are competing, on product and all of that, it's all fine. Like these parameters exist, and we need to keep them in mind. But then there is this other flow, this other way of working, of creating, which in a way you kind of accept that some ideas, the best ideas, even if you have all your SWOT analysis and things like that, the best ideas somehow just come in as intuition, as, whatever you want to call it. They come through you, and, question is, are you going to suppress them, or are you going to really be like a channel for those ideas to materialize through? And those people that see themselves this way, or work from the slightly higher consciousness standpoint, they operate very differently, because what is coming through them is super original. Then they're not copy pasting, they're really creating and creating, new ecosystems or new products. Doesn't matter the scope or the size of it, doesn't matter. But the nature of creativity then, and the process is very different, right? From having a strict business plan that's like planned out 3 years in advance, and sort of all those things, through kind of having more or less a feeling of what you're creating, and then going with that feeling or with that intuition, and just simply creating as you go and shaping things as you go, as in a way co-creating with your audience as you go. So, of course, this second way of creating is full of unknowns and full of uncertainty. But all the innovators that I've worked with who are truly kind of doing new things, they don't use these words, to say what I just said, but they function like that, like ideas just come, and at night, in the morning, in the shower or whatever, and they just go with them. So, of course, as I said, having that important understanding of your market, of your ecosystem, of what you are doing, for what value you can bring to the people is very important. Like, to understand, to orientate yourself where you are. But then in a way you also accept that ideas somehow just come to you, and you let them go through you, and you as a creator, you shape how they materialize on earth. So as I think I already mentioned, that in the business context, right, creativity really, when we know how to activate creativity within teams and to bring in a different point of view, right? We'll talk a little bit about that a bit later in the course. We can really bring a completely new perspective into a team that is stuck, right? Solving a certain problem. So where others, because, with this fresh and broader point of view, you can open up their minds for people and really unlock innovative solutions. That's why facilitators, who are working with innovation or creativity, they're such big asset for companies. And to be a good one, it's very rare to find somebody who really does his job well. So it's being a good facilitator of creativity, of innovation, is a very big asset to a company, because you can create breakthrough scenarios, and you can help find problems to big challenges. So as I mentioned to you, Bloomerangas, the system for like gamified brand development, a gamified brand development system that I've created after all these years of various works and creating tools. Creativity activation is really the foundational layer there. And we use, it's really embedded into the tools that we have, into the workshops that we facilitate, and so forth. So what I'm sharing here is based on real world experience. So now if we look into the topic of creative flow, right? Like how would, let's say, what would be this difference between the creativity and creative flow? So if we would say that creativity is like this life force that's driving us and giving us an impulse, right? Then creative flow is like, once we get this impulse, then we come into this state, right, in which that energy moves through us, right? And if we let it move through us and let us take us on that wave, right, whatever we are creating is really unfolding very, very naturally without much effort. It feels like sometimes it's not us who's doing this, like, who did this? And you kind of wake up and you really sometimes don't have that understanding of where it all the time went. So this is this most natural and most beautiful state that creators can experience. And then, as I said before, it's that we really feel like things are just coming through us. We lose control, and we really kind of melt away in that energy, and we go with the process where it's taking us. Now, in order for everything to happen, right, in what I shared so far, for the impulse and inspiration to come, for us to allow ourselves to be taken by that energy onto that creative process, and of course to make a productive output along this process, right? Because we can feel this influx and then we feel overwhelmed, and then we, or let's say we drug ourselves. That could be also one way, right? Or we can take this impulse and by that excitement, we produce something. We are not destructive, we are creating, right? So for this to happen, we need to be, as a human being, to be very much grounded in our core, grounded in who we are, what we can do, meaning what is within our skill set, with our capabilities. We might need to learn new skills along the way, it doesn't matter. I call this process of alignment. So being in alignment, first of all, with your own core, right? Because if ideas come in and you don't know your own capacity, right, you won't know how to materialize those ideas. You won't know what to do them. So having your very good self-awareness of your own capacity, of your own skills and talents, and your values, your kind of strong points, superpowers, and the way you want to share things with the world, like how you want to service others, right? And what is that most natural format of expression? These are the foundational things that we really need to be self-aware in order to shape this energy that's coming to us in a productive way, right? And do it in our way, in the way that's authentic to us, and also would serve others, right? So I hope you found this useful. If you would like to learn more and listen more on creativity, check out our courses on caroline.com/courses, and you'll find a course in creativity there. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you the next time.